Hi, my name is Bruni Garcia, and I am a third-year student at UF. I currently am studying natural resources and conservation, and I try to focus on wildlife and specialize within that part of the field, and also communications. So I guess the discussion post is asking one thing I am kind of conscious about and want to self-regulate. And for a while I've had this issue, and it's been occurring a lot more lately, where I'm not looking people straight in the eye. I'm kind of avoiding a little bit of eye contact. And it's not necessarily because I'm intimidated by them, it's because I'm usually thinking and trying to gather my thoughts. And so I have this tendency of looking in the other direction and then reverting back to their face. So that's something I've been trying to work on, because it looks, it's very misleading, and it gives off the wrong attitude, or as if you're nervous about the topic of conversation, or you simply don't want to look them straight in the eye, and they may think you're lying about something. But that's something I just noticed I've been doing a lot more lately, probably because it's been stress induced. And the more stressed out I am, the more unfocused I become. So I have this tendency of losing my directions, in at least my icon, the way I look at people, and the way I interact with them in conversation. So that's something I've noticed a lot more, and I really want to improve that. And there is an example at work. For instance, I'm constantly dealing with clients and patients, mainly patients being the dogs and cats, and the clients being the humans. So when you're explaining to them what vaccines need to be updated, how much these are going to cost, and what operation may need to be done, you need to look the client in the eye and explain these things clearly and more simplistic, so they can understand, because they're not going to understand all the medical jargon. So that I wish, and it happened like yesterday, where I was looking somewhere else, and it got really hectic in the clinic, and she obviously looked impatient. So I realized, okay, I have to give my full attention to her, not just try to communicate something, seem unfocused, but instead I have to, give my full attention to her. So by giving her direct eye contact and explaining things in a clear fashion. So that's a good example of how important eye contact is, because when you're constantly dealing with customer service, that's not over the phone, but instead some person-to-person interaction, you definitely want to make sure that that's being done, because you want to enunciate what it is that you're saying. You want to make sure they understand that, and that the message is getting across. So that's a pretty good example of that. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other things that I'm conscious about, but that's just something that I noticed yesterday and today, and I really want to work on that, because eye contact is actually pretty important in conversation. People want to know that you're paying attention to them, and or whether or not you're confident about the topic you're speaking about. So really, for me, it's just being unfocused, and the more stressed out I am, the more unfocused I become. So makes sense. Alrighty, well, I'll see you guys. I'll speak to you guys some other time. Alrighty, bye.